Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. The National Steelband Heroes Hall of Fame Foundation will be honoring 13 players. Joining us this morning to share more is Reginal Vidale, the chairman of the National Steelband Heroes Hall of Fame Foundation. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning again, and thanks for having me on your program. It's nice meeting and chatting with you.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the program this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. For those who don't know about the Heroes Hall of Fame Foundation, can you share exactly what the role is and what you do?
The National Steelband Heroes Hall of Fame Foundation was conceptualized in 2020. However, having regards to the then pandemic, which was very much present, we could not have commenced our induction ceremony until in 2022, when we had our first award ceremony and induction into the Hall of Fame. The concept of it is to honor the pioneers and stalwarts of the steel band movement, those who gave their their sweat and their tears. They gave it all in order to ensure that the steel band movement was very much on the way to where it is today. And it is for that reason the committee was set up to honor these people. And on our first occasion in 2022, we honored people the likes of Mr. Lawford Dupree, Vernon Ellie Mannett, Dr. Anthony Williams, Eddie Hart, Roy Cape, Vernon Mannett, and many others on that first occasion. On the second occasion, we also honored, which was in 2023, we honored several others, and they were put into the Hall of Fame, some of which Milton Wire Austin, Claude Elsid Byron, Vincent Huloy Yipiang, Thunderbolt Williams, Anthony Deuce, all these, Robbie Greenwich, they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, the inducted Hall of Fame would suggest that there is a Hall of Fame in place.
Yes.
No, it's not in place as yet. We have been asking from the inception, and we were promised that in principle, that on the completion of the museum on South Key, which was under renovations, that we would be allowed to use it. That came to us in 2022. However, we have not been able to get any further communication on that. So we are still holding fast to what our intention is, to have the very first Hall of Fame where we would place all those people who have been accepted into a Hall of Fame, which certainly can form part of the tourism thrust, in that, outside of Carnival and inside of Carnival, those who are visiting can go to the Hall of Fame, which I would perhaps want to call also a museum, a sort of
Reginal,
museum.
I have to jump in for a quick moment here because we have to just shift the conversation slightly to what's going to be happening on the 31st of August. I know it's a really big deal, and we need to share with the general public what's going to be happening and who can be a part of it. Can you give us a few details about that?
Well, it is expected to happen on Independence Afternoon, the 31st of August at Nallis. However, as I speak to you now, we are still encountering some problems in terms of sponsorship. And we are also hoping that the ministry would assist us in a grant which we have applied for. And certainly, I think getting that would take us to where we would want on Independence Day to have this ceremony come off. As it stands now, it's like, the car is ready to go, but it does not have the gas. And without the gas, we are not going to get to where we want to get to honor these heroes of the steel band movement.
So, Reginald, how can people become a part of it in order to support?
Well, this is what I would like, and I think this is critical to it happening, is that we are duly registered, duly bona fide, and I would want to ask those who think that what we are doing is worthy of a contribution that could be made to the First Citizens Bank account, which would help us a long way. If you wish, I can give you the account number at FCB,
Feel free to
which
share the
is
information.
FCB 275-9197. And they can, if they think that what we are doing to commemorate and to recognize the stalwarts of the steel band movement by having them placed in a Hall of Fame and also to give them an award.
Reginald, where can people get more information specifically about the National Steelband Heroes Hall of Fame Foundation?
Well, there are the different platforms that it's on, and of course, it can be searched and found. It's all there.
Reginald, are you with us? Okay, it appears as though we may have a slight drop in the connection. For those of you who are just joining us, we were speaking to the chairman of the National Steelband Heroes Hall of Fame Foundation, who I believe is back with us. Reginald, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sure.
Oh, okay, wonderful. It appears as though your video froze for a few moments. We were just asking where people can get more information so they can become a part of the Hall of Fame Foundation and continue to keep awareness alive.
Well, we are on several platforms dating back to 2023 because we did not have the ceremony last year, again, due to funding and the promise of funding, which we never did get. So we did not have it last year. And we are making another attempt this year to have it. And perhaps I could mention a few of the people who are expected to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, the likes of Rudolph Charles. He is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. You go Dr. Desmond Waith of Exodus Steel Band, Arima Angel Heart, Curep Shazando, Sandy Grande Cordettes, NLC Buccaneers from Tobago, and Cats and Jammers from Tobago. They are all prospects who have accepted the invitation to be at the ceremony, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and to also receive an award. So that, as I say, everything is all set to go, but the car does not have gas. And we can't move forward. And I'm hoping that, as I mentioned earlier, that the ministry would come to our assistance and allow us to, in this Steel Band Month, internationally of the Steel Band, that we can bring it off. In point of fact, this occasion is used to close Pan Month in that particular way, that with all the activities that is taking place now, we are looking forward, as we have over the last two editions, to bring down the curtain on International Pan Month and or Pan Month, if you wish, Steel Band Month, with that ceremony honoring the heroes of the steel band movement over the years.
Well, something that definitely we know is a worthy investment, and hoping that everybody who is watching and those that are interested on coming on board are going to join for this to continue to happen, not just now, but in the future. Unfortunately, we've ran out of time, but thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day and enjoy Steel Band Month.
And if I can just say something before we close.
You just have 30 seconds, Mr. Vidale, just 30 seconds.
I would like to recommend that where they have removed Columbus statue on Independence Square, that it be replaced with Rudolph Charles, who has been a stalwart, a pioneer of the steel band movement. It's in the vicinity of Laventille, where all the honor and glory came to him from. And I think it would be fitting enough to have that statue of Rudolph Charles placed in the spot where Christopher Columbus was removed.
Thank you so much for that.
Having said that, I wish to close on that note and to thank you so very much for having me on your program this morning. And I am looking forward to the outcome of this interview, that it will bring some success to the foundation.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. This is the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this break.